I'm fairly certain when you think Tim Burton, the last thing that comes to your mind is a story that deals a lot in the way of love. And then when you throw in Johnny Depp into the equation, you're probably still going, Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. That just seems like it's going to be a really crazy, well-acted movie. Throw in a guy named Edward. Give him scissors for hands. And ironically, use Edward Scissorhands. Now, I'm pretty sure almost everybody knows the crux of the story by heart. You know, Edward was invented, and since human hands are really hard to make, which seems kind of bizarre to instead of give him scissors for hands, because if you can make the whole human body, you'd think that the hands, after a while, would probably be kind of easy if you've made everything else. But Edward gets stuck with scissors for hands. Of course, the inventor, Vincent Price. The amazing actor Vincent Price. Does a beautiful job for the small money he's in it. And of course, now you have a confused man with scissors for hands, who gets befriended by a family. He's really good at hedge trimming. The woman goes, "You should open a salon." Tries to seduce him. Why you try to seduce the weird, creepy, pale guy, I guess now we call him emo, with scissors for hands, I don't know. Because, yeah, he's an amazing artist, but the dude's got scissors for hands. There's so many things that he won't be able to do. He can never hold hands. It's not like he can, hand you things. It's kind of hard because his hands are scissors. So anyways, he ends up eventually falling for Winona Ryder's character, which of course makes sense. People tend to not like him. Why? Because, as mentioned before, he has scissors for hands. The woman convinces people, he tried to rape me. I'm pretty sure if a dude with scissors for hands tried to rape you, you would look pretty messed up if he really was fully intended on raping you, if he even has the parts. And then essentially, as he's doing one of the main scenes is when he's working on ice sculpture. There's like snow falling over on it as he's dancing. And essentially, he doesn't. Johnny puts in a really good performance with pretty much no dialogue, which is really hard to do. It's all just, it's basic human emotion coming from a guy with scissors for hands. The basic misunderstandings, because once someone doesn't like you because you're different, it's really easy to build up support for other people to not like you. But at the same time, he actually does, he does have true feelings and emotions for Kim. So it's a bizarre love story. I mean, it takes a lot for a woman to be like, you know what, I really do love the mute guy with scissors for hands. But it's done well, good musical score, very good, very solid acting. Of course, it ends kind of on a down note, because the woman telling the story is actually Kim. She hasn't visited Edward, who's probably, I guess, still alone in the mansion. Really sad, because he wants Edward to remember the young her. To think that, those moments in time that they captured together, when she was the most beautiful thing in the world, that is how she looks now. She doesn't want to ruin his memory of her at all. And of course, it's kind of revealed that Edward, being essentially an automaton, is immortal. It's actually kind of sad to think that, you've spent a good chunk of your life essentially probably sitting in a room by yourself. So you have the beautiful moments of, sheer love, joy, and whatnot. Then you also have juxtaposed the sheer depression of, it's kind of one of the big loves in your life, and he was a dude with scissors for hands. And he's essentially, like a shut-in outcast. So it actually plays that off very well, that you have the two, the sweet and the sour. And it works beautifully well. So, again, if you want to watch some Valentine's Day movies that are not traditional romantic comedies, I've tried to do pretty good so far. It's going to be hard to knock out 14, though. Edward Scissorhands. Very good movie. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. You really can't beat that combination. It has to be really good. Unless it's the Charlie Talk Factory remake. That Willy Wonka remake was Scissorhands, very good, very good. Wonka, not so good.